Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Eternal Sonata playthrough. It's time to buckle down because, oh boy, we've got some long cutscenes ahead of us.
Rock. Falsetto, if you wouldn't mind doing the honors.
Right.
It's about time! We're finally out of that place! Huh, I can't believe this huge rock moved out of the way just by pushing it a little. I guess I'm even stronger than I thought I was.
Who are you people? And how did you know about this secret passageway?
We were being held prisoner in the dungeon of Forte Castle.
That's right! We didn't even do anything wrong, and they threw us in a cell like criminals.
No kidding. Anyone would have run away. Oh, my hair is a total mess.
Those guys are terrible. They just arrested us and threw us in the dungeon, and we didn't even do anything wrong to deserve it. Well, technically, I guess there are some bad things I've done, but still...
It's true. We were arrested at the entrance to the castle for no reason. I swear, we haven't done anything.
It would seem they're not our enemies.
I suppose you're right. Let's hurry up and get back to the mission.
Wait a minute, Falsetto. I pretty much understand what happened to the rest of you. But what about you? Why were you arrested?
Now that you mention it, we don't know that yet either.
Who, me? Well, I just came to talk to the fellow in charge about what's happening in a go-go forest. Please, listen to me. What you're doing is destroying the whole forest.
Young lady, I'm tired of repeating myself.
But it's true. If you don't stop the mining at Mount Rock, the forest is going to die. The mountain and the forest are connected.
I've told you, we cannot make mineral powder without the mines at Mount Rock. That powder is responsible for saving the lives of many of our people.
Sir, a go-go forest is our home. But if you keep digging...
Hold on, a go-go forest? You're telling me you live in a go-go forest?
I have been a guardian of a go-go forest since the day that I was born. This is the first time I've come to a city like this.
Guards, please come and show our guest to a room.
What?
Isn't this girl the guardian of a go-go forest?
It seems our mission is complete.
Hey, you guys sound like you know something about what's going on around here. Why don't you come back to my village with the rest of us?
Besides, once they realize we've escaped, they might come after us.
She brings up a good point. We shouldn't stay here much longer. We must leave. What are you people going to do?
What should we do, Jazz?
Good question. I'm not really sure, though I must admit, it's thanks to them that our mission was a resounding success.
That's right, and much earlier than we planned, too. It looks like we've got some extra time now.
Let's listen to what they have to say. Maybe they can tell us about the inside of Forte Castle.
It's boring when things always go according to plan. It's nice to have things shaken up every once in a while. It's okay with you, isn't it, Clawface?
Yes, of course.
Then it's settled.
Allegretto, is something the matter?
Oh, no, it's nothing, really. I was just thinking I really need to play with Beat more often.
Well, Beat did do his best.
Yeah, he didn't do too badly. For a clam, anyway.
So, there we go. We've had our introduction properly to 3 brand new characters. Jazz, Falsetto and Claves. I'll leave talking about them for a little bit just because they aren't playable just yet. We're all just going to go on this journey together back to Viola's place because really, that's all that's important. And while you may think, oh, that wasn't that long a cutscene, we've got a long way to go yet. I mean, this isn't the longest set of cutscenes in the world. I mean, let's just say that the end of this game is basically about 45 minutes worth of cutscene. Yes, it even takes on Metal Gear Solid 4 for the title of longest cutscenes ever. And we have got another few, like, really long sections of just pure cutscene. Not a lot I can do about that one, and obviously because I want to stay quiet-ish so that you guys can get the full enjoyment of the story, because obviously Eternal Sonata is a bit more of a niche title, and so you might not have experienced it before. So it's worth being able to hear every last little bit rather than just blathering over the top of it. And I think it's time for another cutscene!
Really, Tuba? Were you expecting Andantino to just show up at the front gate bearing gifts for us?
My apologies, Count Waltz.
Listen carefully, Tuba. I don't think I need to tell you that this is your last chance. Find them and eliminate them all. Immediately.
Yes, my lord.
No, wait. The Guardian of Agogo Forest. Bring her back alive. That is the will of the people, after all. By the way, Frederick, what are you making this trip for? I don't think you ever told us.
Frederick.
Mr. Chopin is taking a journey on which he will have to face himself. Whether that journey will end with his return home or with his acceptance of death, we cannot be certain.
Frederick, please come back to us.
I'm not really certain.
You're not certain? You're traveling, but you don't know why?
I believe I will be able to tell you when the time is right. You see, I have yet to sort out my own feelings about all of this.
Well, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I'm not trying to be nosy or anything.
I am no longer sure if this world truly is a dream. Maybe it is real after all. Perhaps the world I thought of as reality was in fact nothing more than a dream. But then would that mean the cities of Warsaw and Paris do not exist? No. I'm sure they existed. I'm as sure as I am that my own name, the name of Frederick Francois Chopin, has gone down in history in those cities as a famed pianist and composer. I am not mistaken. This is a dream. No matter how unquestionably close it is to reality, this is still just a dream. Unquestionably close to reality? How can it be that ambiguous? What will happen to me when I am no longer able to recognize that a dream is merely a dream? To not be able to recognize that a dream is a dream, what a horrifying prospect. And conversely, would a person like that even be able to recognize that reality is reality? No. How could they? Why should there be a need to recognize that reality is reality in the first place? No one actually thinks about something as obvious as that in their daily life. In the same way, the presence of air goes unnoticed. It's so common it isn't really recognized, is it? But if something cannot be recognized, does it even exist? I am being tested. That must be what's happening. There's something I meant to realize on this journey. Paris and Warsaw are irrelevant. If my dreams and reality have already mixed, then I must do my best to live life in this merged world. That is what's most important.
Hey, Frederick, is something the matter?
No, it's nothing.
Hey, we're almost there. Let's hurry.
So, Frederick's having a little bit of a... I don't know what to call it, really. Because he's starting to see this world as real and starting to slightly freak out about that. Now, this is something that I will show much more when we come to do like a part of extras, because from the off you are able to listen to any piece of music that you've heard so far in the game. So if you want a good indicator of what is most likely going to be a song, see when it turns up in the music section. And that is an absolute godsend, and oh, I'm quite happy that this is just a non-dubbed cutscene, because it means that I can talk over it, thank the Lord. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that occur throughout this section, which basically brings Chapter 2 of the game to a close. Because obviously we see that Salsa got put in prison just for saying she was the guardian of a go-go forest. Clearly, they were not willing to let her return, and obviously they weren't going to listen to her. We've also got the fact of Jazz, Falsetto and Claves were going to rescue Salsa, and obviously we just happened to turn up. But there's also a few other issues at play here, like the fact of why was Tuba expecting us, because that was a bit weird, was it not? And there's the real reason behind Fort Formato. I'm so glad we can just sort of cut straight through it on the way back. But basically, there was a king who was well loved, and then he sort of went a bit mad and thought, well, I don't want anybody leaving, so he put a fort here to stop anybody from leaving, which is twisted, and basically meant that the rest of the world faded away, and yeah, lost all of his friends and couldn't grow. It's a decent moral to be taught there. Like, be involved in the world, make sure you've got your friends, and they will help you grow and realise your mistakes. Because you can only learn from your mistakes, and you can learn from your successes too. But your mistakes are the ones, or at least they're the things that you tend to learn the most from. Because you go, oh, that was a disaster, let's not do that again. And you're more likely to try harder to avoid that from occurring. Whereas if you find something that's successful, you are likely to repeat it, but it's not got the same push behind it as something that goes wrong. And, oh, let's get back across this bridge, because just want to have a nice little rest, and that's not going to happen, is it? Bloody hell.
That was about what we expected.
If you guys wouldn't stop and talk, you'd be fine. God's
Gee, I
sake.
didn't get it. That was kind of hard for me to understand.
Oh, I understood it just fine. But why don't we explain it one more time for the little guy?
To put it simply, if there's no tax on mineral powder, then it follows that everyone will keep using it.
And the side effect of the powder is that it allows people to use magic.
Then, once they go mad and become mindless warriors, they can be made soldiers.
I get it. Then Forte's army will grow many times in size. And they'll easily defeat Baroque.
But only people who are dying can use magic, right? So, when they do die, Forte will lose its soldiers.
Yes. So in order to maintain the army, they'll flood the market with more and more powder.
And that means floral powder will just continue selling less and less.
Then, as more mineral powder is sold, the number of soldiers will go on increasing. It would be a never-ending spiral, one that will lead straight to hell.
Wait a second. If they keep on doing this, building up an army for a war that may or may not happen, then sooner or later there won't be any people left.
Yes, that's exactly right, Beat. You figured that out fast.
It really is just a complete waste. And Waltz realizes that too. That's why he's trying to increase the strength of the mineral powder.
The Count understands that if he can supply soldiers to the front line at any time, Forte's military power will essentially be without limit.
And apparently they need to mix glowing agogos into the mineral powder in order to accomplish that. Though I hear they also taste good in soup.
Huh?
Glowing agogos? I don't remember there being any glowing agogos.
I'm glad you people like babbling so much. It made finding all of you here very easy.
Huh? Hey,
Oh,
that's him.
guys.
That's the guy who locked us away in the dungeon.
That's right. And this time I really mean business. 'Cause my life's on the line too. Even if you run, you won't get away. Got it?
I'm gonna get you back 100 times.
And this is why you don't talk, like stop on the middle of a bridge, a rocky bridge at that. Well, a shaky bridge to be more accurate, and just talk. Like, what even just stupidity of it blows my mind. And also, this is one of those instances where if Beat wasn't already part of your party, he will force his way in, thereby knocking out whoever is in third place. So had I had Frederick, Allegretto and Viola in my party at this precise moment in time, Viola would have been kicked out in place of Beat. So this is one of those instances where make sure all your party members are equally levelled, because Beat's going to be flung into this battle no matter what.
Let's go
and that could end badly for you if you're not prepared. And oh! See, this is, yeah. Tuba can hit really, really hard if you're not careful. Like, ludicrously hard. So, you have just got to be that little bit careful. We've also noticed that Eternal Sonata has now begun its whole thing of repeating its points to the point of just hammering the nail in with a sledgehammer, because they've kind of gone over and over and over the point of Count Waltz is using the mineral powder to turn people into crazy monsters so that he will have an endless army at his hands, and how it's also a bit stupid to do that because, like, seriously, you're gonna run out of people eventually, and that's just no good. But it's fine, because this is a relatively fun boss fight. It's pretty much entirely in the light. There's just the odd cloud that will come across the battlefield. So I would say Viola is a very good candidate for this fight, because you can make sure that she stays relatively far away and constantly heals, because Tuba will just go after one person and is pretty naff really at dealing with it, because you're easily able to block him. And since you've got Beat as well, he's another character where you can just stay at a distance and just rack up echoes, and it's all good, really. And oh my god, I've got Hawkeye to work properly. This is what happens when it actually lands and actually works. You basically get increased, I think it's increased damage on your opponents whilst it is live, so you can use it to just cause more chaos. It only lasts for one turn, so once one of your other party members has attacked, the bonus will go away, but that's fine because you can get in there for the kill and it's all good. But either way, this marks the end of Chapter 2, and things are going to get very chaotic very quickly as soon as Tuba goes down. So, come on mate, just go sod off now please, you're pretty much nearly there. Just, if you let me kill you with a special attack, that would make me particularly happy.
How was that?
And yes! Get in there! Beautiful!
Alright!
And so, with those level ups,
Maybe it's time for a new
Chapter 2 is complete. And, Rocky Bridge, evil guy, might want to, you know, try and take everyone with him. This was not the smartest of places to stop to talk, hey?